Actually, just one silly, stupid, superfluous question. You said that the two tracks you mentioned, The Way and something else, got to number 1 and 12 on
14
the
or something like that. Yeah.
yeah on the adult alternative charts. Why is it called that? Is there a children's alternative chart?
I don't know.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of That's Audiophiles. Run and tell all of the angels this could take all night. Think I need a devil to help me get things right. More on that later, but first, Andy has a track for us to listen to. Andy, what do you got?
I have a track from a band. The band is called Fastball. Are you familiar with Fastball?
No, that's a rounders term, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, it's a rounder's term. But yeah, that's also happens to be the name of this band I want you to check out. And the track by them is called Falling Upstairs.
Okie. Right, I should go off, give this one a toot, and come back and tell you what I think.
Toot toot.
Long before I ever saw your face, I got to know you in a dream. But things aren't always what they seem. You learn along the way. I just can't stop myself from breaking down. It's just no good unless you come around. I turn into a monster. All my friends agree. So good night, I'm going to bed. I'm falling upstairs to meet you. I wake up with memories in my head. I'm someone else instead. Falling upstairs to you.
Okay, it's a good start, pleasant enough song. Feels really old school, old fashioned. There's quite a gentle pace to it. Yeah, there's interesting lyrics as well. But it started off long before I ever knew your face. I got to know you in a dream. Again, that sounds like a little sort of old school lyric as well. Maybe slightly disturbing, romantic. You know, two sides of the same coin. Yeah, it's got a decent voice. When they went to the, I presume that was a chorus, where the backing vocals were singing the lines. That was reminiscent of something as well, but I can't put my finger on it. But yeah, nice enough start.
You came to me from some secret place.
Just when he sung that, I just got hints of like Elvis Costello. It doesn't sound exactly the same, but it sounds similar in the way he sings it. Part of his career, anyway. Short song, so I'm just going to go back a wee bit.
from some secret place. You're beautiful and strange to me, just like an antique melody, too sad for me to play. I hope you'll wait for me behind closed eyes. I know I'll search for you all through the night, till when the dawn breaks in and throws its light around the room. Good night, I'm going to bed. I'm falling upstairs to meet you. Ooh, I wake up with memories in my head. I'm somewhere else instead, falling upstairs to you, falling upstairs to you.
Yeah, that was all right. Pleasant song. I don't know if it was because of the thumbnail, but I've got sort of Western, slightly Western vibes from it, which probably don't exist. Um, but it has got a slightly cinematic or maybe telematic feel to it. You can imagine this being at the end of a television episode or the theme tune to a TV show, or perhaps a film. It was nice guitar solo. Everything was very laid back and slightly mellow. Interesting, some of the lyrics. What was it? I turn into a monster. All of my friends agree. We've all been there. But yeah, interesting. I think I liked it. I wouldn't say that it would be a go-to song, but it was a pleasant enough 3.5 minutes, definitely. Let's find out more about Fastball, and let's go and chat with Andy.
All right, welcome back. So what you make of this one?
Yes, this is a nice, gentle-paced song. I think my overall impression of this is kind of along the lines of a song we've just discussed, which will drop around about the same time as this one. That this was a nice, enjoyable song. I don't think it was anything particularly earth-shatteringly dramatic or special, in terms of groundbreaking, but it was just a nice and had an interesting narrative to it as well. And I had one thing in particular that really drew me into it, but I'll get into that. So yeah, it's a nice, gentle-paced song. It starts with a very pleasant guitar picking notes before it sort of starts strumming along to a sort of shuffling beat. And I'm thinking, oh, this is very sort of chilled. And the singer opens with the lines, "Long before I ever saw your face, I got to know you in a dream." And I think but things aren't always what they seem. Oh. So this could be seen as like romantic, but that third line hints at a certain level of disturbing quality, which, alarm, alarm, and I'm always there anyway, how my brain works. This guy's a creep straight away, but it's an interesting, because it is quite a, long before I ever saw your face, I got to know you in a dream. And it could be a nice, romantic line, but it also could be super creepy, so it's both. And that's quite interesting. And then he sings a little bit more, but then the lines come, "I turn into a monster, all my friends agree," which I thought was interesting. But, as I said in the reaction, we've all been there. But yeah, so another provocative line. And then it gets to the chorus, and the backing vocals sound really like familiar, just like something I've heard before. the whole overall feel of it at this point is really quite old school. It's kind of old fashioned type song. And I don't mean 1930s, I mean 70s ish, that sort of late 70s. The chorus kind of ends with I'll call it a guitar cameo. It's not a full blown solo, I don't think, although perhaps, it is. But it's really nice. It's quite slow and deliberate. But it has a feel to it, which is lovely. And I don't know if it's because of the thumbnail working its subliminal magic, but I'm getting a sense of like a Western feel about this. And I'm sure it's got nothing to do with Westerns, and it is all to do with that thumbnail, but I'm getting that feeling anyway. Then at the start of the next verse, the singer, I think it's the first line, he hits a stretched you. He goes, "You came from a secret place." And it was that line and that word, and I realised where the sort of familiarity come from. This has got more than just a hint of echoes of Elvis Costello. It's like big time Elvis Costello. Not exact copy, but the style, especially some of his mid-career work, sort of after the sort of posty-punk Angry Young Man stuff. He went off to America and did a bit of country stuff and then did some other stuff. And around that sort of time, that's what it reminds me of. And that's where the light bulb moment, the familiarity clicks in. Because I feel myself being slightly drawn to this song, and I couldn't really work out why. That's why. So second verse progresses while I'm going, ooh, and it has a really nice piano in it, which has a tinge of regret about it, and there's a twang of the guitar which adds to this feeling of regret, or something along those lines. And I'm not sure, but I could have imagined this, but I thought I heard the faint tinkling of like a xylophone or something, or that sort of nature. And now, because I've had this light bulb moment, I'm noticing lots of Elvis Costello touches coming thick and fast. So the personal, intimate, confessional aspect of the lyrics, even the scanning of the lines, the way he sings them, is quite similar to the way Mr. Costello does. So he sings just like, and he emphasizes like an antique melody. And then when he does the too sad, pauses a beat for me to play. And then the way he sings all through the night and he runs those words together. And he hits dawn breaks. These are all really, Elvis Costello-y type. And it's not just him. It's just I'm familiar with Elvis Costello. So that's what it reminds me of. There's plenty of others that do it, Because of this, all musically kind of all clicks, all the cogs clicks into place, and then the whole thing works mentally. And then there's a breakdown at "Good Night, I'm Going to Bed," where there's just the guitar notes and the backing vocals, which again is really, really nice. And then the rest of the band comes crashing back in, and there was a bit more sort of oomph on the next chorus as well. Memories of Somewhere Else Instead is going, then Falling Upstairs to You. And then the band sort of vamps really briefly to the finishes. So again, it's a really nice song. You could imagine this somehow, and I don't know if I'm wavering from the Westerny into this being. I started saying the reaction. I thought it was cinematic, but it's not. It's telematic, if that's a word. It's not big screen. I think it's small screen, but you could definitely see this being like going over the closing credits of a TV show or something, to add a bit of emphasis to what you've just seen. I really liked it. It's not a go-to song, but it's just really nice. And the Elvis Costello connection gave me a real kick, which I really liked. But I didn't concentrate on the meaning of the lyrics. I was sort of getting a feel for it. But I will say this. So falling upstairs is, I'm sure it's the same in your country, as a colloquialism for going to bed drunk. Doesn't work if you live in a bungalow, but nonetheless. So I got from this a real sense of, I think regret was one of the things, but also shame as well, which is one of Elvis Costello's default settings. There's angry, there's shame, there's a few of them. So I'm not sure if the person, the object that he's referencing is maybe a friend of convenience, we'll put it like that, or if it's a working girl, but it's not by any stretch of the imagination a healthy relationship, if indeed it is that, rather than a series of reoccurring encounters, or all in his own head, and he's just going up to his bed to act out what he thinks. So not sure about any of that, but I've just got feelings from it. I will say, because of the sound quality of the clip, the drums in particular didn't sound great, but I'm guessing you were limited in the number of links you could available that you could find, because it did sound a bit thin, you know. But I'm just guessing that's the link, you know. I'm sure it wasn't a deliberate thing on their part. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this, and it was just really interesting to see, because I'm guessing, I'm going to look at Dick now, but I'm guessing they're American. But it's really interesting how they sound like adopted Englishmen who's really an Irishman who's sort of Scouse as well. Sounding an American, sort of going around the circles there. But yeah, so yeah, it's cool.
Cool, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, they it actually, it's funny I can see now, having listened to some Elvis Costello, not a great ton, but I mean some, that the vocal patterns and the way he delivers certain words and inflection and so forth could remind you of Mr. Costello. But I've always thought I've gotten serious Beatles vibes off this song. And it sort of sounds, yeah.
Oh, you get what you get, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, like, absolutely. But
what sort of Beatles are you referencing from
I'm
that?
thinking like
a general feel, or
like, well, a general feel, I suppose, but maybe more like 66, 67 type stuff, right around there, where they're kind of like getting into like minor keys and darker stuff a little bit. And I guess that's what I'm picking up on, what I was picking up on in this one. But, you know, hey, like you said, you hear things. Some people are taken one place and some people are pulled another. And
I think you could say this would like be sort of, in between Peppers and White Album sort of style. You know,
yeah. Okay.
I mean, anything could have
that's definitely making me feel. What's that?
Anything could have appeared on the White Album, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, this is very true. This is very true. All over the place. But yeah, they are an American rock band. You were absolutely right. They're formed in Austin, Texas in 1992. And the band originally called themselves Magneto USA, but changed their name after signing with Hollywood Records.
Very wise.
Yeah, I would have loved to have had some albums by Magneto USA. They say they combined their fondness for melodic Beatles-inspired pop with the alternative aesthetic of 90s rock. They are Tony Scalzo on vocals, bass guitar, keyboards, and guitar, Joey Shuffield on drums and other percussions, and Miles Zuniga on vocals and guitar. And actually, one of the reasons why I kind of moved these guys up the list was because we've recently done, in the last week or so, Jam, like the Jam Start. And here I was thinking, ruminating on this three-piece band that tapped into very much a Beatles sound, and I was thinking, oh, what's another like three-piece band that's done some Beatles stuff? And I guess I naturally landed on these guys and this particular song, which isn't even one of their like big hits or anything, but I really like it. And to me, it always had kind of that later Beatles sound to it. So I was like, well, let me see if John enjoys this tune. So yeah, in 1998, their album All the Pain Money Can Buy reached platinum sales within 6 months of its release and stayed on the Billboard 200 chart for a year. Their songs The Way and Out of My Head reached number 1 and number 14 respectively on the Billboard's Adult Alternative Songs chart. And in addition, the group has been nominated for 2 Grammy Awards: Best Rock Performance by a Duo or a Group with Vocals for The Way, and the Best Long-Form Music Video for the promotional video for The Way. They also received 5 Austin Chronicle Awards: 1998's Album of the Year, Best Video, Best Single EP, Band of the Year, and 1995's Best Pop Band. The members of Fastball still had side jobs as late as 1998. Stoney's, for an example, Tony Scalzo worked at a graveyard shift at a bagel manufacturer in Austin. And the band would appear on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno and the late night with Conan O'Brien just 4 months after that. So that's pretty wild that you can go from like working a graveyard shift at a bagel factory to two of the biggest late night shows in the States. That's pretty incredible. They produced 8 studio albums and 1 EP. This particular track is off their 4th studio album entitled Keep Your Wig On, and was released in 2004, and it received a 4 out of 5 star rating from AllMusic. So now to dig into these lyrics, because you got different, you always take things. Go ahead.
Actually, just one silly, stupid, superfluous question. You said that the 2 tracks you mentioned, The Way and Something Else, got to number 1 and 12
14 or something like that.
Yeah, on the adult alternative charts. Why is it called that? Is there a children's alternative chart?
I don't know why they call it that.
Or is that the porno version of the alternative charts?
Right. It's
what the
seems
fuck
like a silly
naming things like
advertisement.
the adult alternative? That's just so stupid. Anyway, I had to point that out.
Another thing is like when that came out, like I was firmly in my teens, like I would not be considered legally adult, and the song hit with me. So it's like, are people under the age of 18 like incapable of finding quality in this? It's so silly. I don't get it. But anyway, that's the Billboard it charted on. So anyway, to the lyrics, yeah. You always take things a little darker, which is an interesting glimpse into how your brain works. I've always looked at this song as like him dreaming. Going to bed to see her is not literally going upstairs. It's like he's drunk or he's going up to bed and he's going to fall asleep and see this person in his dreams, which is kind of how he met her to begin with, because the idea of like, long before I saw your face, I got to know you in a dream, is the idea of like being young and creating the dream girl in your head, like what you like, cater to your thing. So you have this dream girl, then you meet her and you've put a face to this ideal, and now she's gone and you're having to fall back to like going to only seeing her in your sleep and in your memories, which is how I've always interpreted the song. But at date, who knows? I don't know exactly. It's not spelled out anywhere. But
that just sounds like you're trying to explain your actions to the judge.
Okay, John. I feel like you would be under a lot more scrutiny than me, given your interpretation. Like, hey, it's about some creep.
Never been caught. I'll just have to emphasize it again. Never been caught. Like the Zodiac Killer.
So they go, long before I ever saw your face, I got to know you in a dream, but things aren't always what they seem. You learn along the way. I just can't stop myself from breaking down. It's just not good unless you come around. I turn into a monster. All my friends agree. So good night. I'm going to bed. I'm falling upstairs to meet you. I wake up with memories in my head. I'm someone else instead, fallen upstairs to you. You came to me from a secret place. You're beautiful and strange to me, just like an antique melody, too sad for me to play. I hope you'll wait for me behind closed eyes. I know I'll search for you all through the night, till when the dawn breaks in and throws its light around the room. Good night. I'm going to bed. I'm falling upstairs to meet you. I'm somewhere else oh no, forgive me. I wake up with memories in my head. I'm somewhere else instead, falling upstairs to meet you, falling upstairs to meet you. So yeah, I think whether lascivious or not, he's going upstairs, I think, to see this person in his dreams. So yeah.
Sounds like a stalker's charter to me, but anyway. No, yeah. I mean, the upstairs can be very different things. I mean, it might not even. Obviously, I didn't get all the lyrics, so I just flippant thing. But listen to you reading them. I don't even know if it's a person. It may be an idea or a feeling that he's formed, and he wants to get back to that. And the way he's saying about, I'm a monster, and the memories aren't mine and stuff and things like that. I'm wondering, is it could even be referring to. Sound like a lyric website, but it could be referring to like going to a certain state of euphoria through drug use or something, and it's a euphemism for that. You know.
I've also
Oh, yeah.
there's also the interesting correlation of like the literal going upstairs to bed, and then with all these references to thought and memories and dreams, like falling upstairs could be like going up into your head, you know what I mean, and living in there for a while.
Yeah.
So there's that as well. So yeah, it's just really fun, cool, interesting song. It's got some,
Yeah.
I think some really cool, but slow electric lead work. Like it's not like shredding or anything, but it just sounds really crisp and nice to me when I hear this song. And
Atmospheric,
it's
definitely.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, thanks so much for giving a listen, John. Everybody out there, let us know what you thought of Fastball and this song. Hope you enjoyed it. If not, that's cool too. Comments field is there for a reason, so let us know what you think. If it reminded you of anything, whether the Beatles, Elvis Costello, anybody else out there, we'd be interesting to hear your thoughts. While we have your attention, if you haven't already, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you feel so inclined. John and I always do appreciate the help, and we're always welcome to, or happy to welcome people on board here at the Audiophiles. So all that out of the way, John and I look forward to seeing all y'all and maybe some more on the next episode of the Audiophiles. See you guys.